Hey, welcome back to another PD2 beta video for Season 9. This time I'm testing out the changes to the bug that was fixed called the next hit always misses bug. This is a huge change to the game. It essentially turns melee builds into casters in terms of their ability to actually land their hits. That's not really a good example because casters were still affected by the next hit always misses from hit recovery too. Um, but they had a bit of leniency because they were further away, so they weren't getting hit as often. But in any case, we should be hitting a lot more often than before, and we should be doing way more damage. Also, they made it so that hit chance can get up to 100%, which means you should never miss. So now that this bug is gone, they've also increased the hit cap to 100%. And then on top of that, they changed the way that they calculate how melee attacks are checked if they're hit based on if mob move out of the way. So in Diablo 2, like annoying mobs like Fallen are the best example. They kind of like run away. So you'll do an attack, and if they're out of range when your attack lane lands, then you just miss because they like physically dodged it. But they've made there's some leniency on that now. So all in all, melee builds should feel a lot smoother to play, and you should have a lot more damage coming out of you as a result. So what am I running here? So the first one I'm going to do is charge, and then with the exact same gear, I'll respec, and I will try Zeal with Joust. So those are like the two main melee things for Paladin. I mean, there's also Vengeance and Sack, but those are kind of their own builds. But we're looking at just physical damage here, no elemental damage. So I have Max Charge and Might and Vigor. Those are all synergies for charge. We're using Might. It's the most damage out of all of the damaging auras. Charge does not require attack speed to increase its rate of attack, so you don't need to run Fanaticism or any increased attack speed gems or jewels. And yeah, the rest of the points I put in Holy Shield to get our defense up, and 1 point down to Joust in case we need it. And so yeah, for the stats now, you want to make sure that you're able to get to the 100% hit chance. So you're going to get some help from your abilities, like charge here adds 465% to your attack rating. So if we look at my charge attack rating versus a regular attack, you'll see that my regular attack only has an 81% chance to hit. Charge is 100%. Now, I just thought of something that might not be the case, but a few seasons ago, they changed Melee Splash to no longer do a regular attack, which would be this 81% chance, but instead to use your damage from your abilities. So in this case, charge. Now, I wonder if the attack rating is also part of that equation, which means our Melee Splash should always hit. Now, if it doesn't, you would want to get more attack rating because your Melee Splash is essentially your biggest source of damage. If that's the case, that might explain why some things are not getting one-shotted when we attack things, and we'll test that out. But yeah, let's just assume that is the way it is. We're at 100% attack rating, and then I put the rest in Vit. For gear, now I'm on the beta, and I'm able to spawn whatever items I want. So I've got some crazy gear. This is probably not attainable in the game. It's not perfect. The jewels, when you spawn them in, they still roll a range, and you can spawn in hundreds of them at a time, like I'm doing here with the maps. They just kind of fall on the ground, but I've put some. Okay, well let's just look. I've got a very high roll Schaefer's, and I light songed it to make it ethereal, and so that's going to increase its damage. And then I put 4 ohms in it, so it's got a lot of increased enhanced damage. So Schaefer's is the highest raw damage single-handed weapon a paladin can use. It's better than all the other rune words, and we're not talking about Crushing Blow, we're not talking about Deadly Strike or any other useful mobs. We're looking at just raw damage. So Schaefer's is the highest because it can be ethereal and because you can get 4 sockets and put ohms in it. It also has static field, which I believe still reduces max health of mobs when it procs, which is another form of crushing blow, basically. So very strong. It's also got some lightning damage, but that doesn't matter. For the armor, you can use a fortitude, and you'll see fort can get up to 300 ED. However, if you can get a 4OS Tyraels, most enemies in maps, or the maps if you choose to do those maps, can be demons and undead, which means the Tyraels here basically has the same amount of enhanced damage from or to those 2 enemies, demons and undead. So this one didn't roll perfect. It's actually pretty hard to spawn a Tyraels. Just spawning it constantly and getting a perfect roll. This is the best one I can get after like 5 minutes of just generating them. It's extremely rare item. And 4OS Slam would be like max sockets. And in the sockets, I've put these enhanced damage jewels with other mods on them as well. So I've got 21 max damage, 150% enhanced damage, plus the innate mods from the Tyraels, the cannot be frozen, and the damage to demons and undead means that we don't have to wear Ravenfrost, and we can wear this guy, which has got PDR, which is extremely strong for melee builds, because they're like the only time you have the chance of dying on a melee build is when you're getting hit by ranged enemies that are doing physical damage. And PDR will reduce that. So this is super good. It also has enhanced damage. This is also a hard item to spawn in. I spawned in like over 500 rings, and this is the best one I could get. Nos coil for the deadly strike. Basically, that's all that's for. A wisp so that I can summon Heart of the Wolverine to get more ED. Soul drainers for the pierce. It's the only item really that gives you physical pierce, other than the Overlord's Helm, which is I wasn't able to spawn it in for some reason, and that's a declone item. I'm using the 3OS G-Face. This is where we're getting our Crushing Blow and Deadly Strike. I also put 3 40% ED jewels in there, and then High Lords for more Deadly Strike, Gore Riders for more Deadly Strike and Crushing Blow, and you could use a Phoenix, like a perfectly rolled Phoenix would be in a perfect base, would be really high enhanced damage, but Alma Negra gives you 2 to all skills, which is going to increase your enhanced damage on your might and your charge, which ends up being more than a Phoenix if you can socket it with 4 40% enhanced damage jewels, which is what I've done here. So it's 350% enhanced damage. I've also got some min damage in there. On top of that, you get a big bonus to your attack rating, 115% chance. That's why I was able to get to 100 without having to put too much into dexterity. And yeah, the joust thing's kind of neat. But yeah, Alma Negra is a really good shield if it rolls perfectly and you get 4OS in it. I'm not using anything on the swap. There's no merc. Our sheet damage is insane, so 14 to 24k. Just to compare, if you're using the Phoenix and the Fort and a Grief, which is, a pretty typical goal for getting physical damage up. You can also use a Death if you prefer a Death, but Grief has got really high base damage, and our sheet damage is almost half. So these crazy items that you probably will never find or have enough high rooms to buy really do double the damage, which is insane. So it's cool to use them here, but it's just for testing. And I've got a Torch and an Annie. I've got some max damage in there, and I've also got a whole bunch of all resist charms because I wanted my resistances to be maxed. So I'm going to use Holy Shield. I've got my Wolverine out already, and we're just going to see how this feels. And right away, I'm noticing that it feels different. It's hard to explain exactly what feels different about it. It's almost as if when I charge, I see the charge happen, and I see him swing the weapon, and then the mobs kind of either die instantly like I'm used to, or they die a second, or not a second, or a slight delay later, which is, I think, what they've done on the server to correct the bug. So it it's almost as if it's laggy, but it's not laggy. It's hard to say. It feels a lot better, and it feels different. And I would almost say it doesn't really feel like Diablo 2 Melee usually feels. So that's obviously we're going to be, you know, killing things in one shot out there. So I've made a map. We're going to try it out in this map. It's a T3 map. The density is 90. And there's nothing on these mods that reduces our output of our damage. So let's see just how good it is. Because we should almost always be one-shotting things with our damage output, and I really want to just test to see if the bug is just actually solved and fixed. Wow, I'm dying. Interesting. I didn't think it'd be possible to die. Okay, let's make a new map. That's weird. I guess I don't have much life leech. I've only got 6%. And you can't life leech off undead, so maybe something like that happened there. Let me spawn in some more maps. Let's do some jungle maps. I was doing that in the other video, and they usually have a decent mods. Okay, so max health, cows. Okay, let's try this out. Okay, that kind of missed. Oh no, it just didn't kill anyone. It feels really good, I'm gonna say. Like, I'm going very slow right now, trying to do like one charge and then see the result. Oh yeah, like I totally missed there and the mobs moved, but it still did the damage after they moved. That's really cool. Now I'm gonna try holding down shift and charging, because this always had issues before with this bug. Rather than clicking on mobs, you would just kind of click on the floor and the AI would attack whatever is in its path. And that feels really, really good. I'm actually hitting stuff rather than... Oh, wow. Okay, so... Oh, okay. This is so much more relaxed. Not having to click everything. This guy's probably need to physically hit. So, you know, normally you would manually click around because it would be more damage and just more accuracy, right? And that's why you wouldn't just hold down shift and hold down right click at the same time and pick a direction. And it appears that you can just do that now. Okay, look, I'm missing. Not sure why I'm missing. Probably because the direction, but okay. It's definitely better. It definitely feels way better to play. Way smoother, just like very civilized. Now I'm gonna go back to just manually clicking now. Another physical immune. If I did have a Merc or an Atmos or something to break immunes, obviously. This feels really good. Look at that. This is like... Holy shit. Yeah, being able to never miss is insanely strong for Melee. Who would have thought, right? In most games, getting your hit rating or whatever determines that to the max is always like the best increase in your damage. But this just feels so much better to play. Almost like Diablo 3. You can't really miss in Diablo 3. Wow. I'm kind of blown away. I remember reading about this bug and figuring it out. Like I played for a long time without even knowing the bug existed. I always wondered like why am I missing so much? And on the forums, like the Frozen Throne or whatever, I think spelled with a P. If my memory's right. That's like the modding community for old Blizzard games. And there was always these threads up like, how do I fix this bug? And people were convinced it was impossible to fix. And it appears they've done it. They've done the impossible. This is so smooth. I'm just curious. I want to... Maybe it's just this ridiculous gear that I've made for myself here. I'm going to put on the regular stuff you would probably have access to. See what it feels like. I'm still hitting every time I charge, obviously. Doing a little less damage. But wow. Yeah, that's still extremely good. It is hard to tell if the melee splash is always hitting or if it's missing. I guess I could equip some gear to change that. I guess I could just dump a lot of points into Dex. Yeah, let's actually try that because I'm curious. That might make it even better. Let me spawn in a token here. Let me reset my stats. And you know, let's go. Let's just be silly and let's put nothing in Vit. Right? Just all Dexed. And let's see here. Max this out. We want Holy Shield. We want Might. We want Vigor. And let's see. I gotta go in there and hit stuff before it'll tell me my real attack rating. But okay, so no. Still, it's 67, but it's a lot better. Let me spawn in some attack rating stuff. What's good attack rating? Off the top of my head, a metal grid would be really good. Let me just dump all this. Oh, don't dump that. Yeah, bear with me for 1 sec. I'm gonna do some live testing here. Impossible. You know what? I think this would have more attack rating. Okay, 94%. What if I just put on Blessed Aim? What does the 1 point of Blessed Aim do for me? Oh, let's see here. 100%. Okay, let's just run Blessed Aim and see, you know, because it's 12 to 24 versus 14. So Might's only 2k damage, but let's just try Blessed Aim. So now our regular melee hit is at the attack rating cap of 100% chance to hit. Okay, so my theory was, does the melee splash benefit from your ability attack rating, which would be charge, which we had 100% before. So let's take a look here. Let's see if it feels any better. You know what? Let me spawn a cow map. That'll be a better That'll be a better test to see if T35. Let's get a few of them just in case. Yeah, this'll be a better test to see if melee splash is 100% hitting as well. Okay, we don't want that one. We don't want that one. We don't want that one. Okay, yeah, this looks good. Oh, and you'll notice my spirit, it lasted between games. That's another thing they did, which is really nice. You don't have to keep respawning stuff. It's going to save you a lot of gold. I think it is 100%. I mean, the crushing blow and the deadly strike are variable, right? Because I don't have both of those max, so that's why things would die at different rates. But as far as I can tell, every time I charge, 100% of the mobs are taking. Oh, one of them didn't take damage there. Okay, well, in any case, it looks like it is. It looks like it might be a thing where you need enough attack rating for your melee hit. I want to look into that more, but let's look at Zeal now, because that's the other important sort of spell that people use. Maybe not max it out, but yeah, maybe something like that. Okay, and you know, Zeal has got a sacrifice synergy. We want Holy Shield still. We still want Joust, of course, and we're gonna want Fanaticism now for our main aura there. And I don't know if we're at the correct breakpoint. We'll see though. Zeal and Fanat. We're not at max frames. Okay, interesting. So I need to adjust some gear here to get more increased attack rating. Actually, no. I don't think this takes into account Fanaticism when you pull this up. Oh, it does. It does. Okay. Interesting. Okay, let me give me a sec here. We need attack speed. This has got more attack speed. No, I guess the breakpoint is okay. So the phase blade breakpoint is way lower than the hammer, which is another reason I prefer charge. Is that you can get to the max breakpoint without having to get attack speed, which is really annoying to get on your gear. But in any case, let's try Zeal here, and what I'll do is I will go like this, and I will go like that, and we will joust with joust in, and then yeah, the Schaefer's is kind of slow. Also, Cal levels, they're not demons or undead, so not getting that bonus damage from arterials anymore. So I would use this. This will probably be more damage. Maybe not. Jeez.
I can't.
No. No.
Schaefer's is always better.
No.
Zeal, I can't really tell a difference, to be honest. Because Zeal is usually like, you're usually attacking so quickly with Zeal that anytime you did miss, it was irrelevant. I guess not irrelevant, but you didn't notice it as much.
No. No.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I just think charge is way better. I don't know. You just hold down charge now. Look at that. This is even with charge using its synergy. It's like 10k left in. I don't know. That feels pretty similar to Zeal. Not better. Anywho, yeah, I would say that the changes they've made are really positive. But I don't know if... Yeah, I'd have to double check on the melee splash. I'll ask around on the forum, but it's a good question to ask. And this all goes without saying, you know, Dragon Din and the Dreamer, Paladin and Vengeance and Sacrifice, all of those builds are going to be feeling the benefits of this change. But the most probably be felt with Charge, which is awesome. Alright, this is kind of dragged on. I'll leave the video there.